Warning: the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Drewski, the Comic.Assassin, coming at you one more time with the comic book review. Today I'll be talking about two books in particular. But first off, I'm going to say I am so tired. I've been working 12-hour days, and they're kind of split shifts, so I'll do a lot of stuff during the daytime, and then I've been doing some special stuff at night for a special project that we got going on at work. So I'm not getting home till like midnight, 1 o'clock. And I'm kind of sleep deprived. I'm not going to lie. The only good thing is that when you do come home from work that late, it's hard for you to go to sleep immediately, but the rest of the family's usually asleep. So I've been able to catch up on a lot of comic book reading. I finally got to catch up on the Hunted story arc for Amazing Spider-Man. Awesome. I'm going to say hands down, the Hunted story arc is probably one of the best story arcs I've read for Amazing Spider-Man in a minute. Alright, so if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you checking it out. They do such a good job with character development, particularly in the villains. They give you a lot of villain backstory, and I just thought it was a good series. I was pleased of how they did that. And also, coming up on Monday, we got a lot of news to talk about. We had the cancellation of Vertigo. There's a lot of Amazing Spider-Man stuff going on, or Spider-Man like the movie related, and also comic book related stuff coming out. So we have a lot of good content coming out hopefully on Monday that I hope you check out, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. But today, I just want to take a few quick moments to review two books. There'll be some minor spoilers, and I'm picking two more indie books that you might not necessarily been on your radar, but hopefully you like it. So the first one is Psi Lords #1. This just came out last week. Overall, it was an interesting story. Basically, you have these characters that they kind of wake up, they're in jail, and there's a voice in their head, and this voice in their head is telling them that they're a god. And they're like, whatever you say, man. I mean, but basically they have these special abilities. Each one has their own different ability. There's 4 of them that I can tell so far. But basically, this guy's like, just listen to me and I'll get you out. And somehow they get out and they find themselves in a larger prison. Right? Almost like a world that's a prison. It seems like an interesting concept. I enjoyed it enough where I might check out #2. And I say might for a reason. I do have some issues with this book. First off, if you look at the cover, which is it's a nice cover. I'm not complaining about the cover art. And if you look at the inside art, which there's actually one good panel in here, I'll show you if I can find it. Alright. It's got some really decent interior artwork, but they don't match. Like, you can't read this story and identify any character on this cover. Now, I will say that they're in jail, they all have shaved heads, and that might be an issue, but with the exception of this one outfit that this lady's wearing right here, you can't identify any characters from inside the story to the cover. And to me, that's kind of an issue. When I read the cover, that should lead me into it. Like, I want to say, oh, that was that character, that was that character. You can't do that with this book. Also, some of the dialogue they had was kind of unnatural. So, for instance, these 4 people, they break out and they kind of meet each other. And like, oh, hey, I'm Tank. Oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. It just... the dialogue just did not flow naturally. So that's one flaw in my opinion. There's one character I really like. So there's one character, her name is Hazard. And basically, she's this I guess, in this panel right here, you can see her. So basically, she just goes on a rampage. Alright, when she sees red, right? And she will F some stuff up. I really like the viciousness of this character, but she also seemed like she had ADD. Once again, the unnatural dialogue. She'll be in the middle of massacring somebody, and they'll be like, "Oh, don't you think that's excessive?" And then she's like, "Oh, squirrel." Like, she didn't really say that, but that's kind of how it felt. It felt like it was too choppy. But I did like the character. And for the most part, I liked the characters. There's one I didn't like. This guy in particular, I guess his name is Hammer or something like that. Or, no, Tank. He felt too much like a Green Lantern ripoff. First off, he's got the green, which screams Green Lantern, but he also can manifest these green-like fists and things like that. I don't know. So, and plus I saw a preview for issue number 2, and I just don't know. I just don't know if this one's going to keep my attention. But I would say check it out, and if you like it, it might be worth picking up number 2. But for me, I don't know. I just don't know. So, like I said, I wasn't disappointed with the story. I thought it was entertaining, but there were some issues with it. So the second one I'm going to talk about is, and this one should have been on my list that I dropped last Monday for books you should have picked up on Wednesday, but for some reason, this book went under my radar. I went through the list of the new comic books that were coming out 2 or 3 times, and for some reason, I just did not see this one. And that is Last Stop on the Red Line. This is issue number 2. Now, issue number 1 did heat up a little bit. It got above cover price. It got some hype. I also know I've talked to some people who just did not like issue number 1 because it kind of leaves you hanging, kind of keeps you wondering what is actually going on. And number 2 is kind of the same. So basically, this story is about this guy named, one of the main characters is Yusuf. You get the feel that he's a homeless guy. He might have some substance abuse issues, whether it be alcohol or drugs. But basically, like, he kind of blacks out and have these dreams that he feels like he's inside of another body that commits these murders. Alright? So you as the reader, you're kind of thinking, okay, is he actually viewing this from the inside out, or is he actually the killer, and when he's passed out, he's doing something evil? And there's some detectives in there, there's some backstory there. Also, he's a part of this support group, which is kind of like, I don't know if it's necessarily a homeless shelter, or if it's like a AA type thing. But he's a part of this group, and one guy is kind of like the Wolfman, and the other one's like Dracula. And let me see if I can find a good picture of that. But what's confusing is, so there's the Wolfman, and so in the first issue, he was kind of drawn more like a person. In fact, he kind of looked like Wolverine, Logan-esque. Like he was more of a person, kind of wolfy. But here he's full-blown werewolf. And the second person, who is the Dracula-related character, let's see if I can find a good picture of him. Yada yada. Yeah, right there. So you don't know if they're actually really monsters, or if this is some type of, especially there's a few panels in here where the Wolfman, he's arrested and he's like, I know I'm hairy and I feel like a wolf on the inside, but I know I'm really a man. But he's drawn like a werewolf, which kind of makes you wonder if are they actually monsters in this story world and people realize them as monsters, or is it more of a artistic personification of him being a monster, or him feeling like he's a monster? So it is, once again, like issue 1 kind of make you scratch your head. Issue 2 explains a little bit more, so makes you scratch your head. I'm saying I'm still picking up issue 3 on that one. Alright, so I'm still keeping my eyes on the Last Stop on the Red Line. It was an interesting enough story to keep me with it. Like I said, I know people who disagree with me, but I kind of liked it. I just kind of wish, with all the good stories, you can't reveal everything there is in issues 1 and 2. You kind of got to get the hook in there for people to come back. And it's kind of got the hook in me. All right, so I'm gonna keep on with that book. And once the third one drops, if I like it, I might even do another review on issue number 3. But anyway, like I said, I won't take up too much of your time. Please check out the video on Monday. We have so much news to talk about, and there's a lot of stuff coming out this week. So the last few weeks I've done these videos, we've had a lot of slow weeks, but this week we have a lot of good stuff coming out, and I just want to give you a little Peter tingle for when you go into your local comic book shop on Wednesday. But anyway, this is Drewski, the Comic Assassin. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.